This story is purely fictional, created in light of the recent fire in Los Angeles. Our intention is not to scare or distress anyone. At this moment, our thoughts and prayers are with Los Angeles, wishing for the safety of its people and their homes. Prayers for Los Angeles. Before we start this story, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and share with your friends and family. Also, please, can you tell me where and what time you're watching? Massive fire breaks out in Los Angeles. The sky over Los Angeles was a brilliant shade of orange painted by the setting sun that dipped below the horizon. It was supposed to be a serene evening, one where the bustling city calmed into the rhythm of the night. But something about that evening felt wrong. It began with a faint smell of smoke, so subtle that most brushed it off as a neighbor's barbecue or the remnants of a distant bonfire. However, the smell grew thicker, more acrid, until it clung to the air like a predator stalking its prey. By the time the first tongues of fire were spotted licking the hills, panic had already begun to ripple through the city. 1. The ignition. Lauren Westwood, a 34-year-old journalist, was working late in her small apartment in Silver Lake. The faint hum of her laptop filled the quiet room as she struggled to finish a piece on urban development. She barely noticed the smell of smoke at first, until it became so overpowering that she had to stop typing. She peered out of her window and gasped. Across the horizon, the Griffith Observatory stood silhouetted against the menacing glow. Flames surged like wild beasts, devouring everything in their path. Lauren grabbed her phone and dialed 911, but the line was busy. She tried again, her hands trembling, but to no avail. Her heart raced as she turned on the news. The anchor's voice was grave. A massive wildfire has broken out in the hills of Los Angeles. Residents in the affected areas are advised to evacuate immediately. Lauren's phone buzzed. It was a group text from her best friend Mia. Mia, are you seeing this? Get out of there. Lauren. Lauren texted back, I'm fine, but this looks bad. Are you safe? Mia didn't respond. A pang of fear clawed at Lauren's chest. She grabbed her laptop, phone, and a few essentials, stuffing them into a backpack. As she stepped outside, the air was thick with smoke, and the streets were alive with the chaos of people fleeing. 2. The descent into chaos. The fire moved faster than anyone had anticipated. Fueled by dry winds and the unrelenting heat, it spread like a living entity, its roar echoing through the night. The sound of sirens blared as fire trucks, ambulances, and police cars raced to contain the inferno. Lauren joined the crowd of evacuees heading toward the city center. The streets were clogged with traffic and tensions ran high. Horns blared, people shouted, and the panic was palpable. As she walked, she overheard snippets of conversations. The saying is spreading faster than any fire we've seen before. I heard people are missing already. They think it's not natural. Did you hear about the strange lights before it started? Lauren stopped in her tracks. Strange lights. Her curiosity was piqued, but there was no time to dwell on rumors. The fire was too real, too immediate. 3. The strangers. Lauren's path led her to a temporary evacuation center set up at a local high school. The gymnasium was packed with people, their faces etched with fear and uncertainty. Volunteers handed out water bottles and blankets, trying to maintain order in the chaos. As she settled into a corner, her phone buzzed again. It was Mia. Mia, I saw something lower in the fire. It's not normal. I'm heading toward the observatory. Meet me there. Lauren stared at the message, her heart pounding. Mia was always the adventurous one, but heading toward the epicenter of the fire. It was madness. Yet, Lauren couldn't ignore the urgency in her friend's words. Against her better judgment, she left the shelter and started making her way toward Griffith Park. The streets were eerily empty now, the air heavy with smoke and ash. As she approached the park, she noticed something strange. The flames here seemed different. They burned in unnatural patterns, swirling and dancing as if alive. And then she saw them. Figures shadowy and indistinct moved within the fire. At first she thought it was an illusion caused by the heat, but the longer she stared, the more certain she became. These weren't people, they were something else. 4. The revelation. Lauren's steps faltered as a sudden, chilling wind swept through the area. The flames surged higher, and the shadowy figures became clearer. They were tall and humanoid, but their bodies seemed to be made of fire itself. Their eyes glowed like embers, and their movements were unnervingly deliberate. She stumbled back, her mind racing. What was she seeing? Was this some sort of hallucination brought on by the smoke? Lauren. She turned to see Mia running toward her. Her friend's face was streaked with soot, but her eyes were wide with determination. Mia, what's going on? What are those things? I don't know exactly, Mia said, gasping for breath, but I've been following this for weeks. There have been reports of strange lights and unexplained fires across the state. I think these things are causing it. That's insane, Lauren whispered, but deep down she couldn't deny what she had seen. The ground trembled beneath them, and a deafening roar filled the air. One of the fire creatures turned its glowing eyes toward them. Mia grabbed Lauren's hand. We have to go. Now. 5. The fight for survival. The two women ran, weaving through the burning landscape as the creatures began to advance. It was as if the fire itself was alive, working in tandem with these beings to trap them. Why are they after us? Lauren shouted. I don't think it's just us, Mia replied. They're feeding. On fear, on destruction. I think that's what they want. They reached a small clearing where the flames hadn't yet spread. In the center stood an old, decrepit structure, a stone altar of some kind. It radiated an eerie, otherworldly energy. What is this? Lauren asked, her voice trembling. I think it's a portal, Mia said, or something like it. We need to destroy it. Maybe I will stop them. Lauren stared at her friend in disbelief. Destroy it? How? Before Mia could answer, one of the creatures appeared in the clearing, its fiery form towering over them. Lauren's instinct screamed at her to run, but Mia stepped forward, clutching a makeshift torch she had fashioned from a burning branch. Stay back, Mia yelled, brandishing the torch. To their surprise, the creature recoiled slightly, its movements hesitant. It's afraid of fire, Lauren asked, incredulous. Not fire, Mia said, realization dawning on her face. Light. Pure light. 6. The final stand. Using their phones, flashlights, and anything reflective they could find, the two women worked to amplify the light around them. The creature's movements grew more erratic, their forms flickering like dying flames. Mia approached the altar, placing her torch against it. The stone began to crack, emitting a high-pitched wail that made them cover their ears. The creatures let out guttural roars, their bodies collapsing into ash one by one. With a final ear-shattering crack, the altar shattered, and a blinding light engulfed the clearing. When the light faded, the creatures were gone, and the flames had begun to die down. Lauren and Mia collapsed to the ground, gasping for air. The city around them was scarred, but the immediate danger had passed. 7. The aftermath. In the days that followed, the fire was officially declared a natural disaster, though whispers of what truly happened spread among the survivors. Lauren and Mia knew the truth, but they chose to keep it to themselves. Who would believe them anyway? As they stood together overlooking the charred remains of Griffith Park, Mia spoke. Do you think it's really over? Lauren hesitated before answering. For now. But if it happens again, we'll be ready. The two friends shared a solemn nod, their bond forged in the crucible of fire, and as the sun set over Los Angeles once more, the city began its slow journey toward healing, unaware of the ancient threat that had nearly consumed it.